How to lease a car. How car leasing works. Car leasing is really just like a car rental, but for a longer time period and with some extra fees. The leasing company can be a bank, the car dealer, or the manufacturer. Many people prefer leasing to buying, because it allows them to drive a new car for less than if they purchased it. However, unlike buying, you never own the car and you have to return it at the end of the lease. Your monthly lease payment is based on the car's depreciation, how much the car's value decreases. So cars that hold their value are actually better for leasing. Advantages of a car lease. Lower monthly payments, 30% to 60% lower than loans. You only pay for depreciation during the term. Great way to establish credit. With lower payments, you can get a more expensive car for your money and drive a new one every few years. Fewer maintenance headaches. If your lease term coincides with the manufacturer's warranty, major repairs are covered by the warranty. Less upfront cash required. Supposedly, should require little or no down payment, but some dealers require $2,000 to $7,000 down. Just walk away at the end. You turn in the car, pay a disposition fee and walk away. Disadvantages of a car lease. Selling price is often full MSRP. Some dealers try to hide this and divert your attention to low monthly payments. Confusing finance charges. Dealers sometimes refuse to disclose the money factor or APR to you, or even lie to you about it. Mileage limits, often as low as 10,000, that are too constricting, unrealistic, and not sustainable by most people. Fees to get in, fees to get out. Nearly all have $500 to $700 dealer acquisition fees plus $400 disposition fees at end of the term. Higher insurance costs. If you lease the car, you may not get the rebate. If you are eligible, then make sure it's part of the deal. Long-term cost is more than the cost of buying because of all the fees. Excess wear and tear clauses. They often nitpick when you bring the car back, finding ways to keep your refundable security deposit for excess wear and tear. Some dealers refuse to itemize your trade-in. Dealers are not required to itemize trade-ins. Buyers who trade in may not get credit for it. You should not lease if there is a chance you might have to end the lease early. You are upside down on your current car. You plan to have kids next year and will need a different car. You drive more than 12,000 miles a year. You plan to move out of state. Many leases restrict you from changing states. You mistreat cars, you'll pay dearly in excess wear and tear fees at the end. You want to customize your car. Tips for leasing. Get car leasing quotes from the websites recommended in About section below this video. Never enter a balloon lease. Your payments will be artificially low at the beginning, but at some future date you have come up with, for example, $6,000. Don't enter any deal for longer than 3 years. Longer than that, it's usually better to just buy the car. Be on the lookout for 39-month terms, as sometimes your brain sees the 9 as a 6. Roll your security deposit into the next lease. This will save you several $100s in closing costs and avoids the situation where they attempt to keep the security deposit. Pay attention to when the lease ends, and try to avoid having it expire just before the new models roll in. Ideal end of the term is September to December. Always do a sanity check on the money factor. Convert the money factor into APR by multiplying with 2,400. Even if you have a bad credit, the money factor should not be greater than 0.0075 or 18% APR. If you have a good credit, money factor should be 0.00333 or 8% APR. Common car leasing scams to avoid. Many dealers quote a low interest rate or money factor, but if you check out their numbers, it's really higher. force them to put the money factor or interest rate in writing in the contract or don't sign. Don't get early termination fee confused with early termination penalty. Early termination fee can be lower, but early termination penalty can be in thousands. You are charged both when ending a lease early. Sometimes the dealer can slip an extended warranty into the deal. If you are in a 24 or 36-month lease on a car with a 36-month standard warranty, there is no reason to purchase any extended coverage. Both security deposit and disposition fee mean the same thing. So don't be carried away by advertisements with $0 security deposit. You will be surely charged a disposition fee in such cases. If you ever see a drive-off deposit or something similar, just drive off. It is a made-up category used by dealers to steal your rebate. If they use forms that don't clearly itemize reductions to the capitalized value, they can omit the trade-in. Always make the dealer point out exactly where your trade-in is in the figures. How to terminate your lease early. If you want to end your lease, never terminate it. Swap your lease instead. Remember that you signed a contract and early termination has stiff penalties. This usually includes the remainder of the payments plus penalties. It can ruin your credit and can hurt your ability to buy your next car. Advantages of swapping your lease. With the car lease trade, a buyer takes over your car lease in their name, your name comes off the auto lease. No early lease termination penalties for you, your credit stays intact. It's cheaper than paying thousands in early lease termination penalties. You avoid car dealer scams. You are not trading in a car, you are transferring your obligation to another buyer. If you need to end your lease early, you can swap it at swaplease.com. Click the link below to get your new car lease quotes today.